Well, the couple of biggies in the world of broadcasting right now. Biggie number one is the fact that it looks like Nexstar and Tegna will indeed merge. Now, there was a rumor going on that Tegna was also looking at purchasing Sinclair. So this is really interesting, folks. But anyway, it looks like it's a done deal. $6.2 billion. And now that Trump is our president, boo hiss, from the looks of things, it looks like the FCC will be very lenient and will allow this merger to happen, which means, you guessed it, less choices for the consumer, especially here in Grand Rapids. It looks like, the newsrooms at Channel 13 and Channel 8 will merge, as I reported on a previous podcast. So this is not really good news. Now I understand, like I said, Channel 13 has a really shitty product. And Channel 8 is a little bit better, but only time will tell what will truly happen here in Grand Rapids. It looks like, some people are even guessing that what will happen is Channel 41 will be spun off to another broadcaster, and Channel 13 could be retained for some odd reason. And what will probably, it will be a logical thought that Channel 8 could rebroadcast Channel 13 signal, because they have Channel 8 signal does have a good coverage over Kalamazoo and Bell Creek, because it's in between Grand Rapids and Bell Creek. So we might be down to one station for ABC now. So, but then this is another piece of news that I kind of have to laugh at in a way. So earlier this week, it was announced that MSNBC will be changing its name to MS Now. My source for news, opinion, and world. What the fuck kind of a name is that? Now, it was announced that NBCUniversal was going to form a new company to take over the cable interests that they have, which means that this new channel, MS Now, will be joining USA Network, Sci-Fi, and a few others. Bravo, the Golf Channel, CNBC, which will probably not change its name, because it's, believe it or not, CNBC was not founded or originally owned by NBC. It actually stood for Consumer News Business Channel. Yeah. So anyway, this new company they're talking about, it's mostly gonna be investors of Comcast, which owns NBCUniversal, but it's gonna be a totally different company, and obviously they had to change the name of MSNBC, which, by the way, began in, I think it was 1994, as America's Talking. It was supposed to be a news talk television station, and then what happened was it bombed. So NBC and Microsoft decided to merge their stuff, and they became this new channel. And of course, and then MSNBC, of course, was born, and then Microsoft withdrew their interests and became simply MSNBC. So the rest of the story is, now they're going to change their name now to MS Now, which is dumb, because it sounds like multiple sclerosis now. Yeah, I saw somebody online parodying today saying, okay, let's name our channel after a disease. Yeah, really. You know, all this is karma because of what happened to Ed Schultz many years ago. Ed Schultz used to have a really popular show on MSNBC. Then he got fired, and there was a lot of speculation as to why he was fired. But then he finally revealed the reason why he was fired, and it was due to the fact that Phil Griffin, the head of MSNBC, personally fired him because he was talking too much about Bernie Sanders. And they were like, okay, we really want, you know, either Hillary or Trump to win because that means reigns for us. And I'm like, okay, you know, this is what happens when you get, you know, when corporate media puts their hands down the cookie jar of life. They want to tell people like you and me that you're, you know, the corporate opinion is the opinion of the American people, and Bernie Sanders is Satan. Because, you know, what Bernie wants to do is tax the wealthy and give the money, you know, and, oh, we can't do that. Well, it's all about profits, so it's all about money. Yeah, and, you know, this is why, folks, I'm still pissed at MSNBC after what they did. Now, I'm sad to say that since then, Ed Schultz has since passed away. He died a couple of years ago. He was only 64 when he died. But he also was a bigger guy, you know. He used to be a football player. And then he became a sportscaster in Fargo, North Dakota. And then he became a radio talk show host. And he was a big conservative originally. And then he drove around a city block one day and saw people just lined up at a soup kitchen. And many of these people were put into a major disadvantage because of Reaganomics. And he really changed his tune from that day forward. He decided that he wanted to become a progressive. And MSNBC was getting real heavy on the progressives. You know, they had him, and they also had Rachel Maddow, and of course Keith Olbermann. Keith was also fired. And, you know, the sad truth is, it's, you know, there's two types of leftists. You got the corporate leftists and the regular, true blue, red-blooded leftist. And corporate leftists, you know, I think about, when I think of corporate leftists, I think about people who like to go around and say, oh, I don't want to pay taxes. Oh, I need to have 13 mansions. And that's what's hurting our country, folks. And the sad truth is, you know, this is why MSNBC got rid of most of their good people. It was because they wanted a corporatist to be our president in 2016. But now, fewer and fewer people are watching cable TV for their news. And of course, Fox News, Fox fake propaganda channel, they got themselves into deep shit because of that lawsuit about the voting machines. And, you know, we all know now that, you know, we have heard that Donald Trump wants to get rid of the voting machines and all that shit. What a fucking asshole. Seriously. He wants to get rid of voting machines. He also wants to get rid of mail-in balloting, which is stupid. Because I lost in 2020. But I won. No. So, you see, folks, this is why fewer and fewer people are watching cable. They want good programming, and they're gonna get it from streaming. You know, people are tired of the commercials. People are willing to pay a little bit more, but okay. But anyway, I think that, you know, because of Trump, corporate media is going to get more corporate, and guess who's going to lose? People like me and you. So be thankful that we have a little something called the World Wide Web. And we can listen to great shows like Maya's Touch and, of course, this show. And, yeah. And don't be afraid to tell a friend or a neighbor or whoever. King Chuck is podcasting now. So, I'm out of here. I got to take care of my dog and all that. Good day and good luck. I'll talk to you later.